Hi everyone, Petrik here. In today's video, I'll be talking about all the books that I acquired in the month of March, from all the books that I bought and also all the books that were sent to me as a gift or as review copies. It has been, I think, 2 weeks since I posted my last video. As you probably know by now, my life is incredibly hectic and busy with all the books that I have to do, and it leaves me very little time to actually record videos. I'm actually recording this at 2 a.m. Yeah, that's the only time I have to actually record videos at the moment. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. But yeah, without any more delay, let's talk about all the books that I got in the month of March. Of course, just like always, I will start by talking about all the books that I bought first. And apparently for today's video, I'll be starting with this special looking tome. And this is The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan, the Dragonsteel edition. As far as design goes, you know how it is with Dragonsteel. It will match with Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere Leatherbound edition. And I heard there were a lot of issues with this edition. I don't think I encountered any of those issues in my Leatherbound edition, which is, well, a good thing for me, of course, because this book is expensive. And I don't know though, some have said that the textures in this Leatherbound here that you can see in the cover art, I think they're inconsistent, and I'm not actually sure which one is actually the most polished and the most correct edition here. So because of that, I just thought that maybe this is actually the correct one. But again, if you can actually see from this video and you know that this details is not correct, please do let me know about it. But as far as interior goes, I don't see any issue at all. It begins with the front end paper, which is the original cover art by Daryl K-Sweet. So yeah, this is beautiful, a beautiful homage to the original cover art. And this contains the signature by Robert Jordan. And I think the highlight of this edition is that all of these new illustrations being done by Petr Panev, plus many colored illustrations. But Petr Panev did a lot of beautiful black and white plus red illustrations. But yeah, this is one of the colored interior artwork. And then I will show about two more just for you to see just how cool this is. But this is the double spread by Micah Epstein. Yeah, I work with Micah Epstein on the Murderbot Diaries cover art of the Broken Binding edition. And he has always been one of my favorite artists. But this is an example of how incredible Petr Panev artwork is in the Wheel of Time, in the Eye of the World Leatherbound edition. But yeah, there's a lot of great things to love about this edition. And on top of the Cosmere books, it seems like Brandon Sanderson and also Dragonsteel will produce the entire Wheel of Time in Leatherbound format. And I hope the next books in the series will not encounter the printing and also all the production issue that were found in the Eye of the World and the Bound edition, because I think this one is up there with their Stormlight Archive Dragonsteel edition. So yeah, well done to the Dragonsteel team and also Brandon Sanderson for this one. But moving on to the next one, the second book that I bought that actually arrived last month is actually this illustrated edition of the Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I haven't actually read this classic yet, but when I saw this beautiful illustrated edition, well, it is available on Amazon, illustrated by Vincent Malley. So I decided to buy it without even reading the book. So this is the end paper, and yeah, this is the inside of the book. Many pages inside this book contain these beautiful little illustrations that usually enhance my reading experience. Plus, look at this watercolor painting. Yeah, they are spread throughout the entire book, and I cannot praise Vincent Malley enough for this one. Let's show you another one. Ta-da! See? It's so beautiful. And yeah, because of that, I decided to buy it. And plus, it's not as expensive as I thought. When I bought this edition, I believe it cost me about $20. And yeah, it's worth it. I believe it will be worth it. And if you have read this classic, let me know what you think about it. This is actually another one after Sherlock Holmes. I know that Vincent Malley illustrated the Sherlock Holmes edition as well. So those were pretty much the two books that I bought that arrived last month. There are still many books that I bought that hasn't arrived at my place yet. But now let's talk about the self-published fantasy books edition that I got last month. Let's start with The Deathless Dark by Kevin Keel. So this is a standalone dark fantasy novel heavily inspired by Western setting as well. Now, I think some of you might have seen the announcement from the Broken Binding regarding Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry. Well, that edition has this beautiful, absolutely gorgeous cover art by John Anthony Di Giovanni. So when I heard about the project, I will try to be brief about this. When I heard about the project, The Lonesome Dove, I immediately knew that I wanted John Anthony Di Giovanni to be the cover artist because I already had this vision that I wanted to achieve, and I believe John Anthony can achieve that. And well, he certainly did. He exceeded what I wanted from the cover art. But I was at a dilemma about the interior artwork, about the board art, about the end paper, and also about the black and white interior art inside the book. And then I saw this book, The Deathless Dark by Kevin Keel, which is a Western fantasy novel. And I think I got my answer. And yeah, once you see the illustrations inside, not only about inside this book, but also inside the Lonesome Dove, I think many of you will agree that I have made the right call in working with Kevin Keel to work on Lonesome Dove as well. But in this book, not only it is written by Kevin Keel himself, but it is every interior artwork, the chapter header, the interior artwork, all of them, including the cover art, all of them are done by Kevin Keel himself. And I think that's impressive. I think this book, all the artwork inside this, I have perused many of them. I haven't read the book yet, but I have perused many of the interior artwork here. And I think it goes to show how versatile Kevin Keel is as an artist. And yeah, I think it's amazing. And I cannot wait to show you the interior artwork inside Lonesome Dove as well. And I'm so pumped to read this book. A standalone novel is always something that I appreciate, especially a great one. And I hope this one, plus all the interior artwork inside this, well, I hope it will be a great reading experience for me. And then the next book that I got in the month of March, it is The Price of Fear by Miles Lyon. So if you're active on Bookstagram or maybe on Twitter, you might have seen this cover art or maybe this book being showcased so many times across the community. And I think it is well deserved. So little did I know, I did not actually know that Miles Lyon was going to aim to become an author. So Miles Lyon is actually someone who is supportive of my YouTube channel. So supportive of my YouTube channel. So for I think many years now, I know that I have always seen his comments on my YouTube videos. And then, as it turns out, he approached me saying that he has this debut novel coming out with a cover art by Jeff Brown, and this is it. The Price of Fear, the first book in the WoT trilogy. And yeah, Miles Lyon, I think in the past few months, ever since the release of this cover art, well, he has reached a lot of success, quite relatively rapid, and I'm happy for him. Plus, this book is framing narrative. It is also it is often pitched as a mix between Empire of the Vampire by Jerry Christoph paired with The First Law by Joe Abercrombie, and I think that bodes really well for me. I have read a few chapters in The Price of Fear, and I have really enjoyed what I have read, and I hope I can continue reading this book really soon. And moving on to the next one, well, we have another author who is supportive of my channel. I don't see him commenting often on my YouTube channel lately though, and that's okay, seriously. But I'm just saying because I have seen his comments on my YouTube channel a lot in the past. And this is for the debut novel by Chance Dillon. This is Mercy, Tears of the Fallen. As far as I know, this is a grimdark fantasy novel. I don't know anything else about it except that I think some reviews have mentioned that this one is a bit difficult to approach, and it's kind of similar to Malazana Book of the Fallen, where the author does not handhold the readers at all. And yeah, this cover art, this hardcover actually contains this board art, and it features new illustration, new wraparound illustration. It is probably too dark for you to see here. If you go to the author's Instagram page, you can see the artwork in more details. And yeah, of course, as many of you know, I'm a fan of grimdark fantasy novels, so I think it's only a matter of time before I dive into this debut novel by Chance Dillon. And then moving on to the next one, this is actually a special edition. So this is for the Omnibus Kickstarter edition of the Shadow Knights by Michael Webb. And look at this. This is the cover art, the spine, and then the back cover. And yeah, I think it's beautiful. This contains many interior artwork. It opens with this maps and papers, and then it is signed by the author himself. And let me show you some of the artwork inside this. I know that Peng Lu and also Jeff did some of the interior artwork inside this book, and I couldn't be happier for that because I work with both of them very frequently for the Broken Binding. Let me show you the back and paper first. This is done by Jeff Brown, amazing perspective. It is rare to see an artwork done from such a low angle like this one. And yeah, let me show you the interior artwork done by Jeff as well. Ta-da! See? Yeah, it is nice. And I think right now the Kickstarter campaign for the second omnibus, which is the prequel series to the Shadow Knights, is ongoing right now. And it is an omnibus edition as well. As far as design goes, it will match this cover art and also the overall themes of this hardcover. As for the next special edition I'm going to spotlight today, well, this is a big one. This is for the Rhyria Chronicles by Michael J. Sullivan. So this contains this is actually a slipcase, and it contains the first 4 books in the Rhyria Chronicles. I will not talk about them all in details here. Instead, I will show you Drumindor. Yeah, this is the 5th book in the Rhyria Chronicles, and I haven't read Drumindor yet, even though I'm a big fan of the Rhyria Revelations and also the Rhyria Chronicles. This is the only book by Michael J. Sullivan that I haven't read, not only in the world of Elan, but basically the only book by him that I haven't read. He is one of my favorite authors, and this features interior artwork done by, I think, Michael J. Sullivan's daughter. And yeah, I think it is great to see this beautiful treatment for the Rhyria books. Whether it's the Rhyria Revelations or the Rhyria Chronicles, I'm just happy about it because, as I said, I don't think there are many special editions for the Rhyria books yet, or even anything in the world of Elan, and I think that's such a shame. This series, everything in the world of Elan, is a great reading experience, but especially Rhyria Revelations and Rhyria Chronicles. I think they are both series that must be read by fans of fantasy novels, and I'm really glad that Michael J. Sullivan and also Robin Sullivan decided to give me review copies of the entire Rhyria Chronicles in this deluxe hardcover edition. So thank you so much to Michael and Robin for this. But moving on to the next category, speaking of special edition, let's talk about all the special edition books that I got last month. We have a lot of heavy hitters to showcase today. So let's start with the first one, which is one of the coolest special edition that I own right now. It is in my top 10 for sure, and it is Empire of Silence Anderida edition with interior, well, pretty much all the illustrations are done by Kieran Yenner, and this is Hadrian Marlowe and his friends, the Red Company, or the soon-to-be Red Company in the Colossus. And yeah, I love this cover art so much. This wraparound cover art looks gorgeous, but even though the cover art is one of the best illustrations for this edition, that's not all you will get from this one. It is beautiful. Look at this. It's Sielsen on the board. And yeah, this is done in litho printing, similar to Folio Society edition of Dune. And I cannot praise this edition highly enough. Not only the size is bigger than a royal hardback format, but as I said, this contains many interior artworks by Kieran Yenner, such as this one. Ta-da! This is the colored interior artwork, but all the chapter headers, not all, but many of the chapter headers contain new artwork by Kieran Yenner as well. Let me show you one of them here. Actually, let me show you one of the interior artwork here first. Honestly, if I want to talk about this in more details, I will probably have to post a dedicated video talking about the beauty of this beautiful Empire of Silence Anderida edition. But this is an example of the chapter header of Hadrian, again illustrated by Kieran Yenner. But seriously, congratulations to Anderida and also not Hadrian, but Christopher Ruocchio for this special edition. It is absolutely stunning. I cannot praise this highly enough. And not only did I get Empire of Silence, the hardcover, I apparently were also received this broadside. Yeah, this broadside signed by Christopher Ruocchio himself. So yeah, I haven't framed this yet, but I think this will be a really cool thing to frame in my library. And you can see it is signed by Ruocchio here, and of course this is the iconic Red Devils in the series, and yeah, it's so beautiful. Thank you so much to Anderida for sending me a copy of Empire of Silence and also this awesome broadside. Onward to the next one, we have the Perdido Street Station, the Folio Society edition by China Mieville. And yeah, take a look at this one. Look, Folio Society initially published this one as a limited edition, and ever since then, I have always wanted a copy of Perdido Street Station Folio Society edition, even though I haven't read the book yet. But yeah, when I saw the artwork and also everything being done for this book, I just want to have it. And now I can only say thank you so much to Folio Society for actually sending me a copy of this gorgeous edition. This is the front end paper, and inside it contains so many artwork by Doug Bell, and I think they're amazing. It contains more illustrations than I expected. Usually Folio Society books doesn't have this many artwork inside, but it is not the case with Perdido Street Station. And yeah, I really would need to read this book. Seriously, I haven't read anything by China Mieville yet, so this is the beginning of part 2, and every part in this book, it contains this new artwork by Doug Bell. And yeah, let me show you one more artwork before I move on to the next special edition. And yeah, ta-da! I have no idea what this is, but this is bizarre and also scary. yeah, looking forward to reading Perdido Street Station as soon as I can. And again, thank you so much to Folio Society for sending me a review copy of this book. Moving on to the next one, let's talk about the broken binding books that I got, starting from The Winds of War by Mosha Winter. So yeah, this is a grimdark epic fantasy novel highly inspired by A Song of Ice and Fire, and also, I believe, the Malazan book of the Fallen, but A Song of Ice and Fire is the biggest inspiration for Mosha Winter. And yeah, I think the plus side and also something cool about this one is that this is similar to Deathless Dark by Kevin Kale. Everything for this book, it is illustrated by the author himself. So not only the book is written by him, but the artwork here, the cover art, basically everything, and also the edges, even though I had a part in designing this one together with Mosha Winter, but everything about this one, well, it is produced by the author himself, and I think that's pretty cool. And I think right now this book is gaining some really great receptions for those from those who have actually read it, and it's only a matter of time before I dive into this one as well. And I'm really glad that Mosha Winter and also the Winds, not the Winds of Winter, sorry, the Winds of War actually managed to score a broken binding edition. And next we have something very cool, and it is in the conclusion to the Drowning Empire, the Bone Shard War by Andrea Stewart, the broken binding edition. And I got to work on the cover art design here together with Don Lin Zhang, one of my favorite artists ever. She's so great to work with, and I really love her creativity. As I think every time I work with her, I seem to be learning something new and awesome, and I'm really glad. But yeah, this cover art is amazing. I cannot decide which one I love more between this and also the first cover art, the Bone Shard Daughter. But everything that Dan Lin Zhang touch, it turns into something spectacular, and this one is not an exception. And yeah, this is the conclusion to the first trilogy in the fantasy subs for the Broken Binding, and this is the end paper artwork done by Aileen Kai Hin Kwan. And let me show you the board art done by Patsy Lascano. Ta-da! Yeah, I think everything for this series, the design and also the artwork, everything just hit the mark. Everything that we wanted just happened. And this is the back and paper, again by Aileen Kai Hin Kwan. And yeah, we purposely decided to went with the Chinese mural direction for the end paper, and I think Aileen nailed her job wonderfully. And I cannot wait to see what we did with The Faithful and the Fallen by John Gwynne from the month of April until the month of July. Yeah, the next fantasy subscription for the Broken Binding. And for the remaining 4 books from the Broken Binding, these are all illustrated by Ryan T. Hancock as far as cover art goes. So first we have the Illumine Files by J. Christoph and also Amy Kaufman. And this is the cover art of, Illumine, and then Gemina, and also Obsidio. And yeah, This edition, it comes with SC3 paper and also, I believe, soon binding. As far, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong about that, but this definitely comes with SC3 paper. And yeah, no, I'm not wrong. This actually do come with soon binding as well. And yeah, this edition, it has end paper artwork done by Charis Luke and also board by Rachel Sinclair. And yeah, I think I love how this edition turns out, and I actually really need to complete reading this series. And yeah, I got to work on this one together with my fellow art director, Eon. And the same situation applies to Wool or Silo by Hugh Howey. And yeah, look at this. This is Wool, again featuring cover art by Ryan T. Hancock, but this time that's the sticker. Yeah, this features again a board by Rachel Sinclair, but this time also end paper by Ricky Ho. This is the front end paper. I don't know if you can see it from the video there. And also this is the back end paper. And yeah, so I cannot thank Ryan and also Ricky enough, and also Rachel. Well, apparently all the artists for this one starts with the letter R. Yeah, that's a random coincidence. But anyway, I'm really glad to the artists for working with us on the special edition of Silo. And I know that Hugh Howey is happy with the special edition as well. And I think that is a great thing. That is always a great thing to hear. And finally, we have arrived at the last section of today's book haul video, and it is from traditional publishers. So for novels, I have only 3 novels to showcase today. The first one is, of course, The Last Contract of Misako by Fondali, sent to me by Orbit Books. Now, you know my thoughts about Fondali's books. I pretty much love everything that she writes, and this is not an exception. I have posted a full spoiler review about my thoughts on The Last Contract of Misako, but everything about this book just worked for me. If you want to know my full thoughts, make sure to check out that video reviews. And then the rest of these videos, everything is sent to me by Yen Press or Ize Press. And first, we have the first 2 light novels volumes in The Lord of Mysteries by the Cuttlefish That Loves Diving. I'm not kidding. That actually is the name of the author. But the Lord of Mysteries is incredibly popular and highly well received in China and also pretty much in Asia. And yeah, it is one of my goals to actually read a Lord of Mysteries as soon as I can. But these 2 books here that you can see, these 2 books is actually a part of the first volume in Lord of Mysteries, which is The Fool. And yeah, so this is not even the conclusion of the first volume yet. I think we still have about 3 more volumes here before we actually conclude the actual first book in the Lord of Mysteries. So in total, I think Lord of Mysteries is as long as A Song of Ice and Fire or The Wheel of Time. Again, I could be wrong about The Wheel of Time. Actually, it's probably as long as A Song of Ice and Fire, so about 2 million words long, if I'm not mistaken. But this cover design and also the cover artwork, it looks gorgeous. But more importantly, the content here, so many people have praised this, and I think it will be injustice for me to actually skip reading this series. I actually posted a video about my anticipated web novel series to read, and this is among the highest of them all. This and also Shadow Sleep, after being commented so many times on that video. But yeah, looking forward to reading this one. The first book is titled The Clown. Oh, it is The Clown, so it is not The Fool. So the first book, the actual first book of the series is titled The Crown. So these two books here, these 2 volumes, it is a part of the first book of The Lord of Mysteries. And yeah, thank you so much to Ize Press for sending me a copy of this book. I'm so pumped to be reading this book soon. And then, speaking of Ize Press, the rest of the video today will be manhwa. First, we have The World After the Fall from volume 9 up to volume 12. So this is volume 10, this is volume 11, and this is volume 12. I have actually read this series up to volume 7, so I don't know too much about the rest of the series yet. But if you love series like Solo Leveling, especially the illustrations, the quality of the illustrations, you cannot go wrong with trying The World After the Fall. And I think this series actually takes place in the same world as Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. And speaking of Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint, well, look at this. Boom. Ta-da! We have the manhwa from volume 5 until volume 9, plus also the light novel. This is the light novel of Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. This was the arc that actually got last year. And then this is the manhwa. And yeah, you can actually see the spot UV finish on the cover here. And I think that's beautiful. You don't see this happening a lot in paperback novels published in the West. And yeah, this is the 5th volume of Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. This is the back cover. And then we have the 6th volume here, 7th volume, 8th volume, and finally, volume number 9. And yeah, thank you so much to Easier Press for sending me all of this. I have actually read the manhwa for Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. I haven't completed yet. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think I have reached about volume number 7, yeah, of Omniscient Reader Viewpoint. And right now, I still don't think I enjoyed this as much as Solo Leveling, but it is definitely a great reading experience as well. I don't know, probably the rest of the series will be better, so it's just a matter of time before I find out whether that's true or not. And finally, the last 4 books that I want to showcase today, well, this is for the Unholy Blood, volume number 5, and also up to volume number 8. This is number 6, this is number 7, and this is number 8, the final book in the entire series. Well, this is a vampire urban fantasy series, but it is not something like Twilight. Yeah, this is not full of romance. It is actually better than I expected. I remember a few people actually recommended me to read the Unholy Blood. It was originally published on Webtoon, and I'm not I don't regret that decision. I have read 4 volumes in the series now, so I'm halfway through, and I definitely will be reading the rest of the series. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. That's, I think, about 20 novels and also about 12, I think, 12 manhwa novels. So yeah, it is a lot of books to showcase in one video, and I hope many of you found something beneficial and useful from today's video. That's all I wanted to achieve from this monthly book haul video. But again, to wrap up this video, do let me know what you think about all the books that I showcased in today's video. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support. Bye bye. Lastly, I want to say thank you so much once again to all my patrons who keep on supporting me.